A lot of people are spending a lot of time by themselves right now, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but sometimes it's for you to deal with you, and you need to sit in that quiet. You need to sit in that uncomfortability. You need to sit in that moment so that you can grow, because if you keep running, and a lot of us like to keep ourselves so busy that we never deal with our stuff. You got to deal with your stuff. You got to. That's the only way that you're going to move forward. What does it even mean to be spiritual? Because I feel like we've turned spirituality into this weird, cryptic, mystical thing, so don't nobody want to be spiritual. But at our core, I feel like we're all deeply spiritual. We all have a belief system that shapes the way that our lives go, even if that's not religious. And we all have practices that are deeply spiritual. Practices like meditation, affirmations, and breathing. These are all things that we do each and every single day. Now, I don't know if you guys realize you meditate, right? I'm not talking about like you're a monk and you're wearing a white suit and you're talking about for an hour. Maybe that's not you, but some of us are in the business of thinking about a thought again and again and again until it produces a physical response in your body. That is a form of meditation. Now that might be anxiety, worry, or stress. So it's not the most positive form of meditation, but that is meditation. So the question is, are we being reactionary or are we being intentional about the way that we choose to meditate and what we choose to meditate on? And the question is, what are you thinking about? What are you allowing yourself to meditate on each and every single day? Another practice of spirituality that we do each and every single day is affirmations. Maybe you're not the person that wakes up first thing in the morning, looks in the mirror and says, "You are beautiful, you are handsome, you can do anything you set your mind to." So maybe you're not intentional about the things that you speak over your life, but we all say things about who we are and about the direction we want our lives to go each and every single day. The question is, are you doing that in a way that is going to build yourself up? Are you doing that in a way that's going to tear yourself down? And the way you can know it is simple. If I said the things that you say about you, would you want to fight me? Do you be talking crazy about yourself? If so, you got to check that. You shouldn't be your biggest critic. You should be your biggest fan, right? You shouldn't underestimate yourself. That's your hater's job. You should be building yourself up. So be mindful of the words that you say about you, because so many times people aren't getting the roles in life that they want. But that means you just got to go back and check the script, because sometimes the things that you're saying aren't aligned with where you want to go in life. So you have to be very careful and mindful about your affirmations and the things that you choose to speak over your life. And the last thing we got to talk about is your breath, because your breath stank. Seriously, your breath stank. No, I'm not talking about your breath. I'm talking about the ways in which we breathe, because the ways that some people breathe, it stank, because we're just breathing shallow breaths. We're not breathing deep breaths. And the reason that this is important is because every living person is alive. We can agree on that, right? Okay, every living person is breathing, right? We can agree on that. But it doesn't mean that you are living an intentional life. It doesn't mean that you're breathing intentionally. You can breathe in such a way that brings you to a fight or flight response and you're hyperventilating and you're ready to go to war. Or you can breathe in such a way that brings you to a place of peace and balance, a place of not fight or flight, but instead rest and digest. We have to be able to go into ourselves and retreat. But the problem is, when we have all this craziness going on around us, we got to talk about this pandemic, because a lot of people are freaking out, and these are very real situations. But if we can't go within as a place of retreat, that's a problem, because a lot of people, they find themselves in a situation where they're tearing their own selves down. So you can't even retreat within, because within is not even a safe place. It's like the battered woman who now, because of the coronavirus, has to spend all her time at home with an abusive partner who's maybe upset because he maybe just lost his job or doesn't know about his income. And so now home is not a safe place for her, right? And she has to spend all of her time at home. What happens when you got to spend all your time with you, but you're the one that tears you down? We have to make sure that we're not tearing ourselves down, but building ourselves up. And I got to shout out my friend Megan, because I used to tear myself down all the time, and I still have to check myself on a regular. But Megan, she helped me so much, because she was like, "Yo, Elliot, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Be careful about the things that you're saying." So a good friend will stop you from speaking crazy about yourself, will stop you from speaking crazy about your life. That doesn't mean that you have to be fake positive and say everything is amazing. You can still talk realistically about the things happening in your life, but be mindful how your words are shaping the direction that you want your life to go. So to wrap up this video, I just want to remind you guys that we're all spiritual. The question is, are we being intentional about the lives that we're living? Are we being intentional about our meditations? Are we being intentional about our affirmations? Are we being intentional about how we breathe and bringing ourselves back down to a place of peace? And sometimes that peace is not really a peace, because sometimes breathing is to help you sit with an emotion that is painful or hard to process. But if you suppress it, it's not going to help you move forward. And a lot of people are spending a lot of time by themselves right now, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but sometimes it's for you to deal with you, and you need to sit in that quiet. You need to sit in that uncomfortability. You need to sit in that moment so that you can grow, because if you keep running, and a lot of us like to keep ourselves so busy that we never deal with our stuff. You got to deal with your stuff. You got to. That's the only way that you're gonna move forward. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate you for watching. I would love if you would leave a comment, and I would love if you would share this video with someone that you think could benefit from it. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Elliot Ashby. Peace.